in the first matchup between these two gentlemen.
Oh, right into the double by Delija. Nice sprawl by Cappelozza.
Oh, and already a big punch from Bruno Cappelozza. Ante Delija hanging on for dear life as he tries to recover. One-shot power from Bruno Cappelozza has been on display many times this heavyweight season, and now he goes to work from the top.
Oh, there's a big shot here.
It looked like that Ante Delija was in and out of awareness there for a second, and now, once again, attempting to lock down the heavy-handed Brazilian.
This Cappelozza reminds me so much of a young Vitor Belfort. He's so explosive. If you stand around in front of this guy, he is going to blast you.
Look at that hematoma on the right side of the forehead of Ante Delija.
That's one punch, Kenny Floyd.
Yeah, unbelievable. This guy's got so much speed and power. Ridiculous. And there it is again, that right hand.
Coming down like a piston, Ante Delija trying to use his legs to control the attacking arms of Bruno Cappelozza. But the onslaught continues. Delija once again in huge trouble. Cappelozza pouring it on from the top with plenty of time. And Delija once again just tries to grab hold of some safety.
Yeah, he's surviving, but Cappelozza is landing some huge shots and now trying to advance position where it can get even worse.
That is some wicked ground and pound. Oh my gosh.
Cappelozza assured us he's not a one-trick pony. It doesn't have to be these explosive shots on the feet. He's showing us what his ground and pound looks like. He's confident in his jiu-jitsu as well. Ante Delija on his back.
Not only is he fast and powerful, but he's accurate. I mean, every single shot he throws, he essentially lands wherever he wants. And you see the damage already on the face.
Cappelozza trying to get the full mount.
The cage in his way for the moment.
And Delija has that right underhook as well.
He'll now try and use the barrier, get himself some leverage, perhaps kick out here.
Cappelozza able to pummel his left arm in, now has that underhook. And this is not good for Ante Delija.
Peppering right hands there from the top position. Cappelozza's kind of a three-quarter mount here. A loose half guard from Ante Delija as he's really just trying to hold on and I think hopefully force a stand-up. And now
Cappelozza was trying to set up an arm triangle there for a second. Pretty sweaty already to pull that off, but
this would be a huge moral victory for Ante Delija if he's able to survive this round.
This one has already lasted 3 times as long as the first matchup between these two individuals did. 90 seconds remain here in round number 1, and it has been all Bruno Cappelozza. Stuffed the early takedown attempt and immediately went to work. One big shot, and now there's a full mount for Bruno Cappelozza. Plenty of time to work here.
And he's working that arm triangle. He's trying to work that arm triangle, trying to isolate that right arm of Delija. See if he can slide his head and ear into that position and create the choke. I would say that's going to be a very difficult thing to pull off against a great judo player.
I got to tell you, I'm somewhat surprised that we don't see him posturing up and just raining down punches, given how successful his power shots have been so far.
There it is.
There he is, setting up that arm triangle.
Trying to get in.
Squeezing tight.
Climb out of mount position now and settle in if he gets it.
He looks like his shoulder might be a little high for this.
I agree.
Yeah, his own shoulder is blocking the choke. If he can get his shoulder below the chin, though, he can get a nice bite on the neck. That's looking a little bit better, but Ante Delija, he's onto it and able to defend.
30 seconds.
Nice.
Delija's able to explode out, and now he goes to work against the cage. More punches from Bruno Cappelozza. You're not out of danger with 20 seconds left. Kick attempt there, and a flurry at the end of this heavyweight first round. Delija working for a takedown one more time. Bruno Cappelozza shrugs him up to go chest to chest, and we end the first round between these heavyweights. Title, a belt is on the line, $1 million is on the line. Bruno Cappelozza, the Brazilian, in the blue trunks. Ante Delija out of Croatia in the black and gray. And we know Cappelozza's got incredible power and explosion early in fights. Can he carry it as this goes deeper? Strong fighter performance rating score for Bruno Cappelozza, a 99. So as close as you can get without a finish.
Yeah, I mean, that had to be a 10-8 round for Cappelozza, no question about it.
Beautiful sprawl by Cappelozza. Again, a decent shot by Delija, but he didn't do a lot to punch his way or set that up. He just, again, kind of dove in to that double.
You mentioned the accuracy, Kenny. 88 of 108 total strikes. That's in one round for Bruno Cappelozza. That is a pace for heavyweights especially.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. Cappelozza, so accurate, so busy. And you can see it on Delija's face.
Cappelozza surrenders the pressure, moves back to the center of the cage here. We saw Ante Delija weather a storm against Dennis Goltsov and come out victorious in that fight. Shooting from distance though, Randy, that's what you're talking about. He's got to set that up.
He's way too far away to get in that far, to get in deep, and to take a guy that's athletic and that quick down. He's got to set those shots up. He's got to punch his way into those positions.
That's a heavy energy expenditure as well, trying to shoot all the way from out there, getting sprawled on, and once again carrying Bruno Cappelozza's weight. Bruno Cappelozza is a former light heavyweight. I don't know how he ever made 205 pounds. He's built like an NFL linebacker, and he moves with the same kind of twitch and explosion. Now Ante doing a better job getting himself close. We know what he wants to do. He wants to take Bruno Cappelozza down, avoid the power in the hands. Combination there from Bruno.
Oh! Nice combination by Delija.
And now Bruno Cappelozza's wobbled. And Delija perhaps makes a mistake of diving in on this takedown, but he gets Bruno Cappelozza to the ground. Hammer fist coming down from Ante Delija. And Ante Delija trying to pound out Bruno Cappelozza. Does he have what it takes to finish the Brazilian from the top position? Huge hammer fist here.
It looked like he had him out at one point.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Keith Peterson looking through the ref cam. And we've seen survival in round one from Ante Delija, survival in round two here from Bruno. Once again, Delija pouring it on from the top. Taxing pace here between these two heavyweights. 2 minutes remain in round number two. What a flipping of the script.
Unbelievable. Both these men, absolute savages. And you see that bump on the nose of Cappelozza. That might be a broken nose for Cappelozza. Delija landed huge shots.
Cappelozza, a little mouse on his left eye as well, with a little blood trickling down from that mouse.
Oh, look at this. North-south choke.
North-south. Cappelozza not having it.
Delija thinks better of it, goes back to the underhook, the far side underhook to control. Bruno Cappelozza, crossbody ride here. We're watching two different heavyweight fights in round one and round two.
Oh, anaconda choke, too slippery.
Too slippery, and that surrenders the position for Ante Delija. Now Cappelozza on the back and forth here in the second round of this heavyweight fight.
This is crazy. Now Cappelozza with a shot at finishing it from here.
Gotta watch the back of the head.
Punching the back of the head here and asking the referee to stop it, but Keith Peterson's not going to stop it, especially on illegal strikes.
Cappelozza trying to get that second hook in. He's only got one anchor in.
Round two here is evidence of why you never know with heavyweight fights.
There's the choke. He's trying to sink it. He's got the second hook in. Secured himself in the back, anchored himself on the back now.
Let's see if he can flatten him out. He's trying to extend his legs and extend those arms to try to get those hips to the canvas. Not able to do it.
And now you ask the question, did Ante Delija punch himself out trying to finish Bruno Cappelozza?
Ante Delija made the adjustment. He got to at least an arm's length away before he shot that shot to get this takedown in the first place.
He looks okay.
Very aware, lucid in the eyes. 10 seconds remain. And we will finish round number 2 with Bruno Cappelozza on the back of Ante Delija. Round 3 next. Round 3 of a heavyweight championship affair here in the biggest night in mixed martial arts. Bruno Cappelozza, Ante Delija, $1 million and a heavyweight championship on the line. Round 1, all Cappelozza. Round 2, Delija almost gets the finish before Cappelozza reverses position. How will round 3 play out between these two heavyweights? Cappelozza opens with a jab. FPR gives round number 2 to Ante Delija. Cappelozza with a nice right-hand combination. Ripping to the body, big knee. Hooks on the lead of the body. Ante Delija is out on his feet. And now he pushes his way back.
We rock 'em, sock 'em robots here. Unbelievable.
Not many survive when your back is up against the cage against Cappelozza. And somehow Delija has done it. Just ridiculous.
Ante Delija just wearing everything that Bruno Cappelozza has to offer. Now he dives for a takedown attempt on the legs.
That was a much better timed shot and much better distance for Delija. Now he's in deep.
Yeah,
See if
he's
he can finish it.
definitely within that arm's length that he needs to be at, but he shot to his knees, never stayed on his feet. I think if he'd stayed on his feet, drove through the barrier, he would have gotten that trampoline effect and been able to take him down.
Exhaustion setting in here in the 3rd round for these two heavyweights. A test of wills. Ante Delija just absorbing the same kind of punches, Kenny, that knocked him out in their first fight.
Exactly. It looked like it was going to be a similar finish to the first one, but he survived and then fired back.
That knee, holy cow. Now Cappelozza going for the takedown here. He's got a head inside single. Gave it up.
Delija grabs a tie plum here. See if he'll throw some knees as Cappelozza goes to work on the midsection of the Croatian.
And this fight has been just ridiculous. You don't see pacing like this from heavyweights, and it could very well come down to conditioning as we move into the later rounds, but I'm just amazed by how active these fighters have been throughout this fight.
We've not seen anybody absorb that kind of punishment from Cappelozza, and there's Ante Delija still standing there dishing it out.
This is the first time we've seen Cappelozza tested at all.
There's a Cappelozza family down in Brazil. I think they're sweating just like we are.
I hope you took good stock of how these men's heads were shaped before this fight began, because when it's over, they're going to look like month-old Halloween pumpkins. 2 minutes here in round number 3. The pace slowing considerably, understandably, after the huge flurry from Bruno Cappelozza in the early goings here.
I don't think Cappelozza really needs to exchange wrestling techniques with Delija at this point. I think he's wasting energy unnecessarily, but
Peterson separates him, puts him back in the center of the smart cage.
I think Cappelozza was looking for a little breather after that could be exchange, and he was controlling position and controlling where the fight was happening and just catching his breath.
He's still moving. Coming in behind the jab, there's Ray Cooper III. He's got a title bout coming up in our co-main event tonight with the fresh cut.
I gotta say, I like the haircut. Aerodynamic.
Another shot attempt here from Ante. Drives Bruno Cappelozza's back against the cage one more time. Cappelozza hanging heavy. Nice little slip out there from Bruno Cappelozza.
Nice job. He got head position, rolled that forehead across the cheek of Ante Delija to create the exit and get out of that clinch.
Body shot from Bruno. Delija now trying to work his own jab. Adding a little pep back to the step. Right hand lands for Bruno Cappelozza.
Man.
Once again, Delija trying to jump down on a takedown. Head control there from Bruno. Goes back to work with a hammer fist.
Again,
10 seconds remain in round 3.
Better shot by Delija, but again, staying on his knees and not getting up to his feet where he can keep his mobility to finish the takedown.
Championship rounds next. We're in the championship rounds now for the first time in both of these men's careers. Bruno Cappelozza in the blue trunks, Ante Delija, the Croatian, in the black and gray. FPR gives round 3 to Cappelozza, and he opens with a nice combination. He appears to be fresher as we get into the war of attrition. Cappelozza stuffs the takedown, works his way to the back of Ante Delija.
Real question as to how long these guys can keep this pace up. And we're seeing Delija slow a little bit. He just does not look quite as fresh in this 4th round. Championship territory.
If you saw the start of this fight, you'd think there's no way we're getting all the way into the 4th round, but here we are. Ante Delija still very much in the fight because, as we saw in round 2, one punch can change anything. But right now, it's all Bruno Cappelozza on the back of the Croatian.
Delija doing a nice job of keeping that left leg up and that arm inside, so Cappelozza can't get that second hook in.
Delija will walk his way to the cage. Lean up against it for a little bit of a rest.
Yeah.
Where's your head? Hold up on it. Knees on his knees on his chest, Bruno. Now we start with the body strikes. Your head against his chin. Head movement. Use your head, Bruno. Your head on his chin, Bruno. Let's fight smart. Yeah, you got to be smart. Use your head. There we go. That's right. I want your head. Yeah, use your head. Stay calm. Don't stay right there. No. He's going to try Uchimata on you. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, speeds.
Good cornering there from Hani Marks. Trying to get Bruno's head position in that clinch. Warns him against the judo throw, and now we're back to it. More work against the cage here. This time Ante Delija on the offensive.
It's like Bruno's trying to reach over, scoop that far side leg for a switch if Delija tries to pull his legs out. There's Delija, pulls it out.
Nice work, gets Bruno Cappelozza to his back. He had some success here in round number 2 with hammer fists. Does he have the energy to mount serious offense from the top here in the 4th frame?
And Delija doing a great job getting his head in the proper position to keep those shoulders of Cappelozza pinned on the canvas as he goes to work with that left hand.
Coming up later in the main event, Kayla Harrison, the baddest woman on the planet, or so she's looking to prove tonight. Getting the hands taped up before she goes to work. More pressure from the top here by Ante Delija.
Cappelozza appealing to the referee like he's not doing anything, and that was an impetus for Delija to land a couple of hammer fists.
More punches from the top here. Ante Delija is a veteran fighter. He knows if a referee is close to moving in to reset the position, he'll throw a couple more punches.
Enough to keep him there.
Yes, this is a winning position here from the top for Ante Delija. 90 seconds remain in round number 4. And I don't want to get ahead of myself here, fellas. But if round 2 belongs to Ante Delija and he can stay here and round 4 belongs to Ante Delija, we could potentially head into a 5th and final round at 2 apiece. Now, of course, that first round was probably a 10-8 for Bruno Cappelozza.
So what you're saying is the plot thickens.
As if it needs to be any thicker.
Yeah, exactly. Cappelozza, though, starting to get back to his feet, but Delija in a good position to maybe take the back here.
Bruno Cappelozza works back to his feet. Excellent effort by the Brazilian here to not just concede the round and ride it out on his back. Delija once again with a takedown attempt. Good sprawl from Bruno Cappelozza. Pushes Delija to the cage one more time.
Going to your knees, as Randy says, is a good way to level change, but you're not able to create motion because you're not on your feet. You can't run it.
Exactly. You can't cover as much ground. You're okay to touch a knee for a split second, but you got to come back up to your feet and keep your feet driving through that guy's body weight.
We will see a fifth and final round in 60 seconds. Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Kenny Florian, PFL MMA World Championship, the heavyweights in the cage with $1 million and a world title on the line. Bruno Cappelozza, Ante Delija. Brazil versus Croatia. Two monsters in a fifth and potentially deciding round here. And another sharp jab. Bruno Cappelozza has opened every single round, pumping that jab out. Once again, Cappelozza stuffs the takedown attempt and pushes Ante Delija to the cage.
Yeah, Ante again just shooting from too far out. Cappelozza sees that he's telegraphing, able to stop the takedown.
Sure, these aren't lightweights. They fight like lightweights.
Yeah, everything, the speed, the pacing. Wild.
And now
Nice
Cappelozza.
leg by Cappelozza. Trying to get to mount. Close to mount position. Delija doing a nice job of foiling that attempt.
Removes the butterfly. Opts to close his guard. Try and hold down Bruno Cappelozza.
Cappelozza's got a posture up. Get a little elevation with his head. Use that fence. Stack him in there.
And this is what you want to see from Bruno Cappelozza. You know, he's just not content to get the takedown. He's staying busy, making sure that he's scoring points, and in the judge's eyes, that he's winning every aspect of this round.
Let's take a look at our Acronis fight tracker. Bruno Cappelozza, 80% of this fight has been up against the barrier with him on the offensive for the most part. As he steps over half the guard there of Ante Delija. 3 minutes remaining in this fight, and Randy, it would appear that Ante needs to start battling for that underhook. The lockdown is not working at the moment.
Ante's got to get his feet back in this fight, create a bit of a scramble, find a way to use that cage, wall walk back up to the standing position and get back in this fight. Cappelozza's doing exactly what he needs to do to steal this fifth round. It's potential, it's 2 rounds apiece going into this fifth round. Depends on if they scored that first round a 10-8 round. Cappelozza.
I don't want it to be lost on people that in round number 1, it appeared that Ante Delija was down and out. Maybe a punch or 2 away. And then in round number 2, the same was true of Bruno Cappelozza. His head is bouncing off the canvas.
Absolutely.
And 1 or 2 more, and he's probably done. Nice work by
Cappelozza
Ante.
gets too high. Nice job by Ante. Recognizing Cappelozza's position was too high. Scored it out the back. Came right back up firing.
A conservative approach here from Bruno as he leans in for more control. I don't know if Ante can afford the same. I think he's got to sell out to try and steal this round.
He may even need a finish as well, guys, because just winning this round may not be enough.
That's true.
I think just winning the round might get him a draw, but again, we're assuming that first round was a 10-8.
Right.
Well, and just the math of trying now to reverse with 90 seconds left in this round, not enough time to grind out a victory in the fifth round. He's going to have to be explosive and make something happen. And it's Bruno Cappelozza who remains offensive here. Hammering away even at the legs
And we've seen so many momentum changes where it can actually happen between these two, right?
Maybe Delija's resting right now, and he's just gonna, as soon as he gets free, he's gonna explode again.
He's waiting for that final 60 seconds. Looking up at the monitors. He's got 1 minute remaining as we take a look through the ref cam.
Cappelozza trying to get those hands locked under the hips, and there it is.
Oh, there it is.
One more big explosion from Bruno Cappelozza. Lifts up Ante Delija, deposits him down to the mat, and removes any doubt of who's winning this 5th and final round.
And if you thought there might be a weakness in the grappling skills of Cappelozza, I think he put that to rest here in this fight. I mean, unbelievable show of all-around mixed martial arts skill here.
10 seconds left in a heavyweight world championship here in season 3. Bruno Cappelozza looks to put a punctuation mark on an incredible season, and it will go to the judges' scorecard. But Cappelozza's corner and the watch party in Brazil thinks that Bruno has done what it takes for a season 3 championship. 3 with both FPR and verdict. The official judges scorecard reads like, well, for that we go to Lillian Garcia.
Fight fans, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges scorecards. And the totals are 49-45, 49-45, and 48-46. All for your winner by unanimous decision. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 PFL Heavyweight World Champion, Bruno